Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
Okay, Coach, we are just west of downtown Denver off of I-25 at Broncos Stadium at Mile High. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson.
Well, they have that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. 23-yard. On the play.
It's a gain of 23 yards. And the Lions first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Looking downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big pickup of 38. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Oh, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Javon Wims, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point good by Prater. And it's now a 7-0 game. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 24.
X3, 218, chop it. Check, check, lucky. You go tight. You got time. Get it.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Lock to throw on 2nd down. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. The 6th season in Denver now for Emmanuel Sanders after those 4 years in Pittsburgh. And you may recall Sanders tore his Achilles December 5th last year in practice. But before the injury, he was on his way to another 1,000-yard season. Would have been his 4th in his first 5 years in a Bronco uniform. And now at 32 years of age as he tries to return to full speed. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line.
70, Indy.
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. Flush to his right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get him down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Check. Two-jet bomber.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Forced out, and he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Great coverage there. Holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10.
On the ready.
And from down in Miami, an update. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 7 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
Ready. 30 base. They're running it. Wide. Blue draw quarters. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Tighten up. Now.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. On first down, Locke. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Locke will try again on second down. Throw left side complete. It's Lindsey.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. So on fourth down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. This from 54 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Fighting him off. He'll have a first down past the 40. A big run there by Johnson. And even 60 yards for him on the ground. And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really hurt them the other way, getting past that first wave.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Set, blue 60, 32.
Now on 2nd and 13, Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes in this first quarter. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops it behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. After 1, a 14-3 ball game. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they're facing a very tough 3rd and 11. On 3rd down, Locke. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing on first down is Locke. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run here with Lindsey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Come on, set. 60 or more. Me and you all day. All day. Let's go.
To throw on 3rd down. Locke. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And the Lions will take over.
At their own 29-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
At the 31-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You don't know no better.
Stafford now to throw. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Partner, one of the cardinal rules of defense is that if you're in position to make a tackle, you need to make it.
Well, and if you can't make the tackle before that, you just got to knock that ball down, right?
Yeah, something has to happen because we saw the end result there. Missed tackle, he goes all the way and takes it for a touchdown.
Prater for the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Well, we talked about Philip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018. The Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Philip Lindsay. The throw over the middle taken in. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
It's a gain of 21 yards. That's another Broncos first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Kill, kill, kill.
Lock now on 1st down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Now a carry for Lindsey. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Tackle made by the third-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down.
Tight end right. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
From the gun on third down, Locke. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct, and what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now, but later when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Johnson. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson, and he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the 50, Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
On 3rd down, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room.
Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. The Lions on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. He may try and run for this. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Here we go.
2nd and 1. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Set. 280. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Pick it up. Hey, Red. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. From the 29, Locke completes it to Fant on the right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Let's go, D, let's go. Let's go.
Locke going to try and throw on third down. Steps, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Damon Harrison, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Denver. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Agnew now to return. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect.
Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And out across midfield, down to the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Locke now on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Locke again here on 2nd and 10. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 26.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Locke now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Locke. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Let's go, baby.
It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. From 10 yards out, and the Broncos get a bit closer.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small, score, and worry about getting the next one after that.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Detroit. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Now Prater to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Get ready.
Ready. To throw on third down. Block. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bird. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Locke again. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Locke now to throw. Buying time to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. But now it's third down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They scored a touchdown the last time they had the football, but things going to be a little bit more difficult this time.
No, certainly, because where they're starting, the goal isn't even thinking about a touchdown at this point. They're thinking about field position. A couple of first downs in order to give some room for their punter and maybe flip the field position for their defense.
They go to Johnson again. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Now Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. From the gun, here's Stafford. Derek Wolfe make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They'll go option on 2nd down. Oh, no time to pitch it, and down he goes. And it's in the end zone. That's going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about. We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Hey, orbit.
On 1st down, Locke. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. Left side here to Sanders. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside.
Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Johnson. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the gun, a run for Johnson. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down.
Hey, watch the screen. Watch the
They're going draw play. Stafford to Johnson. And they're going to stop him short of the first down as he's tackled at about the 21. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up fourth down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
He's not going to get me. Get it.
Throwing again on second down. Lock. He finds Riddick, complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
Ready? 15.
On first and 10, here's Locke. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. Locke now on first down. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down. Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. Back to the air on second down. It's Locke. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. And
that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Broncos cut into that lead. McManus now for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 22. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it? touchdowns.
They'll run it with Johnson. And this Bronco defense really selling out to stop the run, and it pays off. They get him behind the line twice in a row. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Looking to throw again on second down. Lock. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Over the middle, complete. That's Bird. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big gain of 31 on third down. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Well, pass complete here to Sanders. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Throwing on first down is Lock. Going to throw deep for the end. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 20, 10, 5. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and he will score. Touchdown, Denver. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell, just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that will cut the lead down to 15. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Now, hold on a second. Why would they decline that? Charles?
I don't have a good answer for you, but let's work the math here a little bit. If you take the penalty, you get 5 yards. Minimum.
You're in the positive in the yardage, and you get to rerun the down you just had.
I like that. I like that little extra on top of the whole thing. This makes 0 sense.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself.